Hello students, today in our video we will discuss about the file management system in operating system. So file management system, simply it is a short form, in short form we write file management system. The file management system. Already we have learned what is a file. File is a logical name, okay, where the process of extracting, the process of retrieving, how data are being processed, how data are being stored, okay, all operations are means even if a process to initialize, then processing, then termination of the system. Every concept is controlled, is managed by this file management system. Normally, records, file contains different records. Okay. So each record requires a memory space to be stored. So file contains number of records. Okay. So this management system is nothing but it is a collection of system software programs. Simply, it is a collections of system software programs. So file management system deals with a collections of system software programs that provide services to the user. Okay, that provide services to the user. So, for example, by through this file management system, user can create file creation of file, deletion of file, or updation of file. All operations can be managed, can be controlled by this file management system. Okay. Now we will discuss about the objective. Why we are using? What is the objective of this file management system? File normally contains number of records. That means it is a collection of system software. Again, it is a system software, just like operating system. Operating system is a system software. So these programs are being manipulated, they are being processed in the computer system, in the computer's memory. So it controls all type of operations. Okay, that is also done this file management system. Now we will discuss about the objective. What are the objectives of this file management system? Okay, so it provides I/O support. It provides I/O supports to the user. So all input-output operations are being supported by this file management system. So several users can have input-output operations. So this file management system has to support to different users, several users for input or output operations. Okay. Again, it provides a standardized set of I/O interface. So whatever input or output operations are done through the computer system, there is a set of interface. So this interface must be standardized by this file management system. So what are the operations? They has to interface with the system. It provides a standardized to input output interface, but also it can call as input output interface routine. Okay, it's a routine is nothing but is a sub program. Okay, then it allocates storage space allocation, storage space allocation. Okay, so what are the memory required and how data will be stored in memory, that will be allocated by this file management system. So storage space allocation means allocates storage space to store data. Okay, so this is the storage space allocation. Next one is to optimize, okay, performance, to optimize performance. To optimize performance, system performance will be maximize. That is the another objective of this file management system. Okay, then it provides the input output support for variety of storage device types. So we can use different types of storage media. Okay, so it supports different types of storage media. Okay, next objective will be it provides different types of storage media. Different types of storage media can be used to store data. Okay, so file management system also supports all these things. Then it provides a guarantee that data in the file are valid. That means only data validity. It provides data validity. Means it stores data that must be valid data. Valid data only are being stored in the storage device, that is also managed by the file management system. Okay, and the last one is it supports protection. It supports protections and sharing of files. Protection and sharing of files. Each file must be shareable, must be shared. Each file must be protected. Okay, and also recovery if you lost, and also recovery. Okay, so data file, it requires memory space. That space will be allocated by this file management system. If file is lost, then the system can help to recover data and again reallocate. Again, it can be restored in the storage media. So all these types of operations can be managed by the file management system. So this file management system is nothing but it is a portion of the operating system. The file management system is nothing but it is a portion of operating system that is charged with managing data that reside in secondary storage device. Okay. So this file management system also called as a subsystem. This may be a subsystem. So this subsystem can be implemented as one or more layers of the operating system. So if you think entire functions of the operating system are divided into several layers. In one layer, suppose the manipulation. In one layer, under controlling. So for directory management, logical to physical mapping. Okay, and performance also in another layer. So in different layers, memory management, kernel and memory management, operating system implementations. So in several layers, every types of responsibility can be controlled by this file management system. So the different layers functions of the operating system we will discuss in the next unit. Okay. So first of all, file contains file stores records. So for storing record, it requires memory space. Memory space must be allocated by the operating system, and also according to a requirement, we can retrieve data from the secondary storage device. So every types of management is controlled by this file management system. Okay, this is all about the file management system. Now we see file system architecture. Next, I will discuss file system architecture. File system architecture. So for this, we will draw a diagram. This diagram will denote how the architecture of the file system is running with the operating system in computer science, in computer system. So file system architecture normally provides how different layers functions are done with the different files. Okay, so any operations are directly linked with a particular device. Suppose printing is a activity, printing is a job. So this printing is directly linked with the printer, and that printer is directly connected to the printing driver. Okay, so device driver. So device driver controls a particular device, and that particular device performs either input operation or output operations. So for all these things, we can have a diagram to better understanding of this file system architecture. Okay, so now consider the diagram. First, you have to use program. Used program. Used program. Then there are so many types of access mechanism like sequential, index sequential, index, hash. Okay. Then the logical I/O operation. So in this way, logical I/O operation. Then basic I/O supervisor. Basic I/O supervisor, logical I/O operation. So there are several types of access mechanism we will discuss also. Okay, then basic file system, basic I/O of supervisor, and basic file system. Basic file system. Okay, then disk device driver. Disk device, that is a secondary storage device. And tape device driver. So this is the file system architecture. So first used program, how it will be accessed. There may be sequential access mechanism, or index sequential access mechanism, or index access mechanism, or hash access mechanism. So anyone we can use according to our requirement. So also we will discuss in operating system sequential failure access method, index sequential access method, and direct using hash function. Already you have studied in DBMS. So directly we can access, that is a hash access mechanism. Then logical I/O operation, basic I/O supervisor, and basic file system. Then this device driver or tape device driver. So every device is directly linked with this lowest level. Okay, this lowest level, that is your device drivers. These device drivers are directly connected with the device. Okay, or peripheral device. So each peripheral device is directly connected with the device driver. Okay, so a device driver is responsible for starting I/O operation. This device driver starting I/O operation and processing and completion. So this device driver is responsible for starting beginning of the I/O operation, processing, then termination or ending. So this device driver is responsible for this. Okay. The next level is your basic file system. So in this level, starting of I/O operation, processing and termination or ending. So this device driver is responsible for that. And just above this layer, that is a basic file system. So normally, basic file system is the interface with the environment. This is the interface with the environment just outside the computer system. Okay, outside of the computer system. Then come to basic I/O supervisor. So in this layer, in this level, this level is responsible for all the file initialization and termination. So file must be initialized before processing. It must be initialized. So file initialization and termination. So this basic I/O supervisor, this level is responsible for file initialization and termination. Okay. Next higher level is your logical I/O operation. It enables user and applications to access records. So this level responsible to access records by the user. Now we can use any one of this access mechanism. To access record, we can use any one access mechanism. Okay. Then file information stored in the file can be accessed, and this information must be accessed by the several users, or read into the computer memory, or write into the computer memory, or read from the computer memory. Any one type of this access mechanism can be applied. So finally, used program. Now, this program helps to store or read operation or write operations from informations those that are stored in the computer memory, that can be done. Okay. So there are so many ways that information in the file can be accessed. Now we'll discuss how many types of access mechanism are used to store or to retrieve information from computer memory. Okay. So there are many ways of file access mechanism. Now we'll discuss about the different file access mechanism. Okay. Now we'll discuss about different access mechanism. What are the access mechanism you are using to access different records from the storage device? Already I have told you that how access mechanism is performed. The access method, file access method. You can call file access processes or methods. So there are so many ways how we are accessing records from storage device, or storage media or secondary storage device. So first sequential access or serial access, sequential access. Okay. Then index sequential access, index sequential access. Then direct access, direct access methods. Okay. So there are so many ways how we are accessing, how a user is accessing information stored in the file. Okay, sequential access, index sequential access, or direct access. Okay, so there are so many ways to access information stored in the file. Okay, so now we'll discuss about the sequential access method. That is the simplest one. Today we'll discuss about the sequential access method. Sequential access method. Okay, so this is the traditional, very simplest one. Okay, here informations are stored in a sequential, in a specific order, and also accessed in a specific order or serially, one by one. Okay, one by one we can access records from the storage device. So information in the file is processed in a specific order, one by one. So there is a specific order. We can store information in a specific order. So in orderly, in specific orderly, we can store records into this file, and also in the same way or in the specific order, we can retrieve in a specific order. Records can be retrieved in a specific order or serially or sequentially, or sequentially we can access. That is your sequentially or serially we can access records from the file. So here editors or compiler generally use the access mechanism. Either you can use editor or compiler. So normally editor, it may be editor or compiler normally uses this access method. My example is a magnetic tape. Magnetic tape is the sequential access methods media. So magnetic tape stores sequentially, and access mechanism will be supported to sequential access method. Magnetic tape, serially we are storing information in magnetic tape. So sequential files are also typically used normally in batch application or serial processing. Okay, or like your payroll application. So normally the sequential are used in payroll system, or batch processing or batch application. Normally they are used in batch application or payroll system. There is sequential, one by one we can access records from file or information from stored in the file. Okay, so this sequential access method is, or this type of mechanism, read or write operations are performed sequentially. Same way all operations. So here read operations or write operations, all operations are performed sequentially. In a sequential manner, all files or read operation, write operations can be performed. Okay. So read operation or write operations are performed in a particular sequence or sequential. Okay. So read operations normally reads the next portion of the file, and automatically it advances the file pointer. So whenever read operation or write operations are performed, we are using sequential access method. Normally it reads to next. So pointer will move to the next. Okay, next records. Okay, automatically it advances the file pointer. So file pointer will move just in advance, one by one, automatically file pointer moves just to next. Okay, next file. Okay, or next record. Okay, similarly a write operation appends at the end of the file and advances at the end of the newly written material, that's the end of the new file. So whenever read operations or write operations, every operations are performed in a sequential, and the read, whenever read operation is performed, the head pointer just move to the next. The pointer move in advance automatically. Whenever write operation, same way the pointer moves to the next. Means it advances to retrieve the file. For example, we can take for example. Suppose there are 100 number of records. Okay. Suppose there are 100 number of records, and the pointer is at record number 45. Suppose. Okay. For example, we can take. This is the sequential access method. We are accessing different records from the storage device. So, for example, a file consisting of a file. The example. Suppose a file consisting of 100 records. Now, a record pointer is at current position or current pointer. Suppose is at 45. Okay, 45th record. Okay, and we are target. We are going to source access the target record. So target record. Suppose 75th record. Okay, so that means current suppose in this way you draw. This is the beginning, this is the ending with 100 number of records. Beginning is 0. Now suppose this is 45, this is the current position, and this is the suppose this is the target. Suppose 75, this is the target. So we have to move. So here the target position is 45 and target record is 75. So in the sequential access method if we are using, so we have to traverse 45, 46, 47 and so on, 73, 74 and 75. And finally we can reach it. So this is the sequential manner. In sequential process we can retrieve information from storage device. Here all records are being stored in a sequential manner. Okay, so we can read or write head. So here the read or write head can traverse all records from 45 to 75. So within 45 to 75, all records will be traversed sequentially like this. Okay, this is the example for sequential access method in operating system. Okay, so this is all about the different access mechanism and different file system architecture. Okay, so this is all about the file system, and in this way we can access records sequentially. So on next video class we will discuss about the index sequential file access method as well as direct file access method. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and the description or note will be given on your group. Okay, thank you.